What's up, guys? I'm Chris McCormick, and this monster next to me here is the Serrye Volki by Benjamin Cheh. This is my replica of his original design. Here's his album on Flickr, where you can see his photos of the original build. Pretty sweet. He's got a lot of mechs like this in his photo stream, and I think I liked this one because it's a little more. It feels a little more like Mech Warrior to me, a little less Japanese, like Gundam, kind of that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of show him off, talk about the um, process of building them, and what I like, don't like, all that stuff. So let's get into it here. So he's got about 1,100 parts, and I've been working on him on and off for a handful of years now, actually. It's been a little love-hate because as sweet as he looks, he's very fragile and unstable. So that's always been frustrating, and there's been done a lot of redesigns on key pieces like the ankles and stuff like that. So he might fall over while I'm recording this, and if that happens, I promise I won't stop the video. I'll let you guys see the disaster. Um, yeah, so some more shots here we could check out, but let me show you how I go about recreating a model like this. So I used to use Lego Digital Designer. I think it's like the LDD is the official um, digital Lego design tool from Lego. But more recently, Bricklink, which is where I buy all my Lego parts from, created their own tool called Studio, Bricklink Studio, or stud.io. But yeah, so Bricklink Studio is a great tool. It's got a lot of nice features for dividing the model into subcomponents. You can see here in my step list, I've got it divided into like the body and the legs, left leg, right leg, calf, right thigh, knee. And then, tools for copying and mirroring too, since there's a lot of symmetry going on here. Yeah, and so kind of what I do is I'll take those photos, and I can only do this for models that have been really well photographed, like this one. And I'll just go through and gradually recreate the model. Some of it's, relatively easy in that you can see pretty clearly what's going on. And then other parts, there's a lot of like inferring that I've got to do. And that's kind of the fun part, I think, is reverse engineering how stuff is built. So, and then you can kind of see, you can figure out whether you've got it right based on, whether things like line up exactly like they do in the photos. So very tedious and time consuming process, but I seem to really love doing it. I think I tell myself too, like, oh, someone will find this useful. Someone else will like, get to use this and use the digital design and build it themselves. So I don't know if that'll ever actually happen, but I had a blast. So I think that's what's important. All right, let's check out some features of this guy. Let me see if I can move him. I think the safest way to move him is to kind of like grab him from underneath and support him. Um, Legs, it's like don't really move the legs, right? It's kind of like you get this thing positioned so that it's stable, and then ideally don't touch it. uh, I would say, let's see, some of my favorite details. I think the legs are just awesome. Check out those feet. There's some really cool like exhaust jets on the back of the heels. I like the use of these plates here, plus these little extra stabilizers. It's rare that I actually get all of the contact points like touching the table, but it looks pretty cool when I do. He tends to want to like tilt backwards, which is tricky. Yeah, but I love the main gun. Thing's a beast. Left arm is full of rockets, and then all these little side rockets are awesome. These on his on his shoulders, and then these thigh rockets is what I called them. Yeah, so something that's kind of funny is he's got kind of this like sumo stance to him, right? Where his legs connect almost like right underneath his arms. It's like as if my legs came out like right under my armpit. And he doesn't really rotate. Like I've got him set up to rotate, but like there's just not, he runs into his own thighs. So that's kind of disappointing, I think. But, you know, mostly this guy, I think, is like, he's going to live on my bookcase, you know? And there's always the back of the bookcase too. So if he tries to fall backwards on me, that'll support him. The other kind of tricky bit here is this gun. The main gun is really heavy. I kind of want to go back at some point and see if I can like redesign it a bit to make it lighter. But it doesn't really want to stay where you put it. I think gravity makes it want to. Well, yeah. If I go like too wide, it's like now it's totally falling backwards. It's only being supported by my hand. Yeah. So, you know, kind of a tricky build to actually like play with. Could sort of do it. But yeah, it's like every time you want to let go of them, you gotta think about it real carefully.
How do I get you? It's like, what can I do to move weight forwards, right?
You can tilt him forward like that. That definitely stabilizes him. But then that's where I run into this problem with like the gun, you know, gravity just kind of pulls the gun down. Sweet. All right, so the last thing I wanted to show off here is that I did do some of my own photography, and it's a little different than kind of the standard Lego photography, so that it'd be kind of interesting to share what I did there. So usually, you know, we like Legos are photographed on a nice white backdrop, so you can, you know, so that the model's really clear, you can see all the details. I thought this thing would look really sick on black. I've seen a lot of cool product photography where it's totally black, but then like on a reflective surface on the bottom. So kind of looked into how you do that, set it up. Here's what I got. I think it turned out really well. Do some like controlled lighting. I've seen people play with like multiple colors, you know. So I want to try that at some point too. This is kind of my first go at this. Got one other one. Yeah. Pretty sweet. So here's how I did that. Set it up on this table here that I'm at right now. I bought like this sheet of a black acrylic, so that's what creates that reflection on the bottom, and then just sort of a, you know, standard black muslin backdrop. And then to do the lighting, I actually I just took a couple cardboard boxes and set them up to create this you know, this slit that you can see. So that creates that kind of window of light coming in on the model. I think product photography, they often do it with like flashes and yeah, but this worked pretty well. So there you go. Thanks for checking this out. I had a lot of fun designing this, building it, and it's great to have the opportunity to share it with you guys.